Hello, and welcome to Week 1's video on Learning Analytics. As you know, the importance of this week is all about getting started. How can we encourage our learners to get a strong start in this course? What course design choices can we make for them to know how to start, where to start, and what to do? The goal of this video is to go through a few places of Canvas Analytics to identify information that may help you identify students who are struggling to engage in the course. It's Week 1 after all. So let's get started with the simplest tool, and one that you're likely already familiar with, the People tab. I'm going to use this Guidance 105 training course from spring 2021 as an example throughout this term. People tab can be found on the left-hand side. This is going to populate all the students in your course, and you're likely familiar with this already. And some of the things that I want to point out is the last activity and total activity. As it sounds, it's going to show you how often or how long a student was logged into your course. And the next page is going to kind of talk about the limitations of this, but if a student is logged into your course but isn't really active, it can still be tracking. And we can identify that pretty simply by just searching myself. If I can spell my name right. We can see Ben Whitmore here. Total activity in the Guidance 105 instructor training course was 72 hours. Now that's absolutely 100% inaccurate. I may have spent an hour or two in there helping Jared get things going, but that's about it. Most of that work was on Jared. So we know this is wrong. And what we know why it was wrong is because this student, myself, must have had this course open for that long. So one lesson, the data that we do get here isn't always absolutely correct, but it is a good gauge on how active students are. And if we're looking at total activity and we're identifying that certain students have 0 hours, or if we scroll down and we're a couple weeks into the term and we see they've only spent 37 minutes into the course, or 2 or 3 minutes, we know they're not really engaged in the course in the way that we know for them to be successful. This is a good indicator of students that maybe you want to reach out to, send an email in. Consider prompting them with an announcement. Consider setting up an intervention to get them re-engaged in the course. Some students may have forgotten that they need to log in. They think, hey, it's a 2-credit course. Maybe I only need to log in 1 day a week. And so you can kind of coach them on those successful behaviors here. If there's a student that you really want to look into, for example, maybe this student down here, this is myself, maybe that student hasn't logged in at all and we want to find a little more information. The next piece that I wanted to show you was the access reports that you can pull. And by doing that, you click the 3 little ellipses, this upside down ellipses, and then go ahead and click User Details. And this pulls up a little bio about that person, and then you can select Access Report. An access report is going to show you all of the content that they've viewed and when they last viewed it. So it won't show me, for some reason this is showing me that I viewed the course home 310 times. Now I think this is another data inaccuracy. I think what happened is I had the course homepage open and it kind of reset its counter often. But it shows me the last time I viewed it. And we'll do that for all the different content pieces in this course. So this is another way to kind of see if you're concerned about a student who hasn't spent a lot of time in the course, you can see what have they looked at? Where are they going through your course? So in brief, what I think is going to be most important is accessing student information just from the People tab. And quickly going, okay, it's day 2, who hasn't logged in? Who has 0 activity? I wouldn't put a lot of reliance on these numbers as we've seen, but we can put some reliance on who has logged in and who hasn't logged in. And for those students who haven't logged in yet, day 1, day 2, day 3, maybe a class-wide announcement, maybe an individual message, an email to them can help prompt them jump back into the course. Coming up, we'll look at different ways to communicate and send targeted messages using some of the other analytic tools. But this first week is all about real basics. Let's jump into the People tab. Let's figure out last activity, total activity, and then find any access reports and see if any of that can help us get some insights into our students' behaviors and hopefully help us identify a little bit quicker students who are struggling to engage.